This is Fleet Street, London's original home of the writer. Its natives included the novelist Charles Dickens and Samuel Johnson, who wrote the first proper English dictionary. They were also journalists, as were many others celebrated for having a noble profession which held the rich and powerful to account. Yet now, just up the road from Fleet Street, a judge called Lord Leveson has been busy sitting in court deciding whether the press here can be trusted anymore. That's how far the reputation of journalism has fallen. The principle of having a free press which is there to regulate the state has been a tenet of democracy in this country for centuries, just like it was in the United States of America from the moment when Thomas Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence. And yet what Leveson is now being asked to consider is whether the state should have more powers to regulate the press. And that's because in this country now, many people think that some newspapers are incapable of maintaining even a minimum ethical standard. Given that the Leveson inquiry was prompted by phone hacking, the opinions of victims have become very important. This woman, a senior police officer who was hacked, believes there has to be independent oversight because the press simply can't be trusted.
The journalists working for them were abused as well and forced to do work that was appalling. They were forced to commit crimes in order to gain news stories. I mean, there's absolutely no justification for that. And we cannot allow ourselves to get to a situation in 20 years' time where we're having this conversation again. This is a historic moment and we have to seize it and get it right.
Yet it's also the case that some British journalism is still really good, has helped expose all sorts of things from corrupt politicians to tax avoidance and phone hacking. If politicians regulate the press, then might they start to block things they don't like?
There are immense dangers to freedom of expression and to a free press in having any form of statutory intervention. You can call it light touch, underpinning, whatever the terms you want to, sort of euphemisms you want to introduce, but at the end of the day, that will involve politicians and a degree of licensing, which I think is counterproductive and endangers 200 years of hard fought for press freedom in the UK.
Long ago, British newspapers were genuine documents of record, densely written and without advertising, celebrities or gossip, and all done without the slightest hint of regulation. The papers today complain bitterly about the dangers of outside interference, and they may be right, but their opponents say they only have themselves to blame. Laurence, Al Jazeera, London.